And this friend was always liked to party. I mean, she did that long before. And she did miss an awful lot of work. And I don't know if she ever got spoken to about this, but she was always playing with it. Or not always playing with it, but, oh, she'd come over for dinner. Yes, my mom would have her over for dinner. And she would take extra insulin, and it's important to know that when there's a problem with people losing limbs or whatever, that's probably a lot to do with them. I hear well, yes, well, she ate, she didn't have to watch her blood sugar. I've got to admit, I have diabetic neuropathy, but I still try to get up and do some walking. It's not always a great amount of walking, but I know what I need to do. And so often, diabetics like myself get headstrong. Oh, I'm okay. Even if we need help, oh, I'm okay. And being stubborn like that is a lot troublesome, same as anything else. But getting out there, follow what you have to follow. And, what happens if I falter, Mike? Well, you falter and you move on. No one's asking you to be perfect. It's not a reality. Striving for excellence is always great. But being perfect, and you're putting an awful lot of stress on yourself. You've been diagnosed with diabetes. If you're a new type 1, even if you're a kid, and you're going to have to modify your lifestyle. Some kids, it's a big step. Other kids, it's not such a big step. But moderation helps. Always do what you can. And when I say always do what you can, I'm saying stop being an excuse maker. Oh, I didn't do this because I didn't have this. Or, I didn't take my blood sugar because I didn't have a glucometer. Well, you know what? That's very easy, and that is carry your glucometer. Oh, I'm going low. Well, carry a snack. Saying, oh, I can't do anything because of this, and I can't do anything because of that, doesn't mean, oh, well, I did my best. No, you didn't do your best. Now, if you packed up your bag and put it by the front door, and you walked out the front door and lunchtime came and you can't find your glucometer, well, that may be something you could overlook once, but don't do it all the time. We seem to always think that, oh, well, my doctor expects perfect. Now, I'll let you in on a little secret. You're going to have high days, you're going to have low days, and your doctor expects to see this. Now, that doesn't mean that, oh, I've got to modify all the blood sugars, and no, it doesn't. It can also mean that people understand. Now, if you forget to do a blood sugar, don't just write in a number, oh, I think I was that number. Because you can play a game, and this one isn't really going to hurt you in any way. Excuse me. Oh. Ugh. Just felt like there was a bug there, sorry. Guess what your blood sugar is. And before you do your reading, see what your blood sugar is. You will find that you're out an awful lot of times. And I don't necessarily mean because you're a brittle diabetic. I think we all get complacent. And as an individual, you need to be aware of this. Because that's when you start doing things wrong. And if you do something wrong, you made a mistake. Some mistakes are worse than others. So, if you end up in the hospital because you by accident took too much insulin, well, I hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, deal with it and move on. Learn from the situation. Don't just continue going off on the merry way. Now, looking back years ago, I taught for a large corporation. I did staff training, that sort of thing. And I ate and I drank and whatever. And this was back when we all just took shots. And I took shot in the morning. And a lot of times I could hardly wait for lunch to come. Because sorry, I thought it's sprinklers. I thought it was fake. And every day it happened. Well, dude, maybe you need less insulin. Oh no, and then it was, well, maybe I should have food in the room. Oh, well, I can't eat well then, yeah. But, so maybe you need to break early for lunch. Back then, I was so hip on, this here and this. So people need to realize that sometimes you have to call the shots. What? You're breaking for lunch awfully early. Well, I need to. I need to eat. Would they rather you not be there working? Because if you constantly have low blood sugars, you're gonna be flat out. So before anything happens, whether it be with your college professors or your high school, I know years ago, and I don't know if CDA does it or there's something on the internet, but there's all kinds of medical forms that in the school year, if you're under 19, your mother, father should sit down with all your teachers and say, okay, I have a pack here of sugar items that if he or she is not really with it in class, that could be a reason. If you're in college or university, every semester or however your college is set up, they usually have office days, and go and sit down with your profs and say, I'm a type 1 diabetic, and if I'm starting to fall asleep in class, or it's not because I'm doing disrespect to you, it's just because I may be having a low blood sugar, and a lot of them will be very surprised. I had one college professor who said to me, oh, well, maybe you should look for another class. One that's later in the day so you can eat. It's your responsibility to get to class ready to learn. It's not theirs to babysit you. But if they're needed, they need to know what's happening. Because nothing's worse, and you're cheating yourself. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye now.